Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Young Justice review. We are looking at Young Justice Season 4, Episode 25, Over and Out. Sorry for the delay with this review. We've just had so much going on over the past couple days and everything like that, and it's just been nuts. It's been nuts. So I did watch the episode. I'm going to kind of go through my notes here. We are at the penultimate episode of, next week is the season finale, so and we've got a lot to break down in this episode. So I'll do my best, but I appreciate you being here if you're here. Before I get started, please consider hitting the like button, leaving a comment on your favorite part or least favorite part of this episode or this review. Whatever, it all helps. And consider subscribing if you really like Young Justice. Although we're almost at the end of the season, you can always go back and watch any of my previous reviews of the Young Justice Phantoms season. We also have other reviews on here, so check it out. Okay, so at the very beginning of the episode, we have the father and son reuniting, which would be Lorzod and Truzod. Druzod. Druzod? I can never remember his actual name. It's General Zod. That's all I've ever known him as, really. I know he has an actual name, but... So, they're being reunited. General Zod is pretty skeptical. He's like, I don't know. How do I have a son? Blah 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 blah. He says, well, I'm from the future. He said, speak the mantra or whatever of the House of Zod, and he does, and he says, we have a son. Because nobody else would know that mantra. Nobody else. So they start to leave, but before that they realize that. They go to leave, and then Lorzod takes them to the Fortress of Solitude through another boom tube. They send one lady back through to get the forces. They closed the boom tube because the Forager Green Lantern is starting to stir and starting to force her way out of the Kaiser Thrall's stun beams, whatever you want to call them. So they close that boom tube, and then the team thinks that everything's safe. They're like, okay, well, at least we don't have to worry about them getting out right now. They boom tube to Earth, Fortress of Solitude. General Zod takes Superboy with them because, Lord Zod wants to kill Superboy, but General Zod's like, no, he has pledged his loyalty to me. He is now with the House of Zod. So anyway, so they go over there, and as soon as they get into Fortress of Solitude, the atmosphere and the yellow sun start to heal Superboy. His big old scratches on his chest. So at least we know if he does survive, this is how he survives. Well, we know he survives in this episode, so he doesn't look pretty, but he survives. So he starts to heal. Also, Lorzod says, look, there are these sun chambers that basically enrich your entire genetic structure with the yellow sunlight, because it helps basically supercharge you faster than just getting the sun absorbed. So then so all that's going on. So then they get in the chambers. They open the boob tube back up to the Phantom Zone. Well, and after they left to go to the Fortress of Solitude, the Justice League regroup, and the Justice League regroups. They then go in on Tromba, I think is what the planet's called, something like that. It's basically the one under the red sun. So they get Bioship, and they all get on there, and they start beating through subspace back to Earth. So you got Green Lantern helping move them, slip them faster through space, and then of course the Cosmic Treadmill moving them fast as well. So they're beating feet back to Earth since they don't have a boom tube, obviously. Inside the Phantom Zone, they reopen the Phantom Zone for them to come out, and so Nightwing's like, okay, guys, obviously we got to keep them here. So Nightwing tries out his comedic chops yet again with a Gandalf quote of "You shall not pass," and I hate it. I don't understand. What I get, they want to have a Wally West character, but like, why is it Nightwing? I know Nightwing doesn't have to be serious all the time, but he's more of a snarky jokester. He's not a Wally West quoting movies, like, type character. So I don't understand why they do this with him, and they've done it a couple times as well. A couple times this arc with him, and it just drives me nuts. So anyway, the team starts fighting. They fight off. They start fighting off the Zodits. Can we call them, instead of Zealots? Can we call them Zodits? And so they're fighting, and they keep fighting them off, and then the Zod troops use. Well, I'm sorry. Nightwing goes through first, while the rest of the team keeps the Zod followers on that side. Nightwing goes through, uses Nighterangs and destroys the Sun Pods, which it seems like Zod already had enough yellow sunlight to survive that, so that was good. Well, not really good. And then Nightwing gets clobbered. I think it was by, was it by, yeah, it was by Lore. I don't think it was by Superboy, but it was by Lore, Lore Zod, and gets thrown back into the ice sculpture of Kal-El's parents holding up the planet, which I'm guessing is Krypton, not Earth. And then that falls on him, and then you see a bunch of blood. So I don't know if they're going. I don't think they've killed Nightwing. I really don't. But I wonder if, like, in the comics recently, Nightwing basically got like a traumatic brain injury, and then he became Grayson. Like, that was his hero name, I guess. I don't know, but basically he kind of got a reboot in his brain, memory loss, yada yada. Uh, Maybe that's where they're going with this for this season. Like, next season, hopefully next season, Nightwing's kind of gonna be, he'll be recovering, but he'll also be a totally different character because of this traumatic brain injury. Yeah, but Grayson was in a pretty bad way. But this is basically the Grayson arc, so they can't kill him, at least, and he can't be knocked out. He's got to come back next episode, in my opinion. Um, so, and then the other, so after, of course, they come out of the sun, the Eye of Arian comes out. Which Arian, really? Like, a little on the nose there. The Eye of Arian then attaches itself to Ursa Zod, which is General Zod's wife, and then she becomes the Emerald Empress. Now, this Emerald Empress was supposed to be somebody in the 31st century. So, the Emerald Empress was supposed to be somebody from the 31st century, but because all timey-wimey stuff, things getting jacked up, so that the eye attracted to her. Uh, but yeah, so we got, so of course we got the Emerald Empress now, or whatever, which is like a mystic weapon, kind of like the Eye of Agamotto in the comics, but a little bit more present. It's a big eyeball kind of hanging out. Like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm not very familiar with it, but sure, why not? So back in the Phantom Zone, Rocket corks the boom tube, basically putting a shield up on both sides. Well, a circular shield, but it basically fills up the boom tube, and so you have the Zod people fighting, or trying to punch through the force field, which of course just makes it stronger. And then Lord Zod comes in and he starts using his eye beams and starts, trying to break through the barrier. And then the boom tube starts to collapse. So we have the collapsing of the boom tube, and so everybody's like, "Get out of there now! Get out!" Whatever. Um, and so, as the boom tube is collapsing, I think the Zod people go the back into the Phantom Zone, and Lord Zod goes back out. Zatana makes the portal back to the bus, and they all start to back out. And Rocket's obviously the last one out because she's doing the force field, and they all come through the bus passage, what we'll call it, sure. And Rocket's not there when the portal closes, so she was stuck in the boom tube. So yet another member of the team who may not have made it. Um, I don't know how I feel about this because we just got to know Rocket this season. I don't think, again, I don't think she's dead. Like, I don't, unless this is the last season, they're not killing everybody off. I mean, they tried killing off Superboy in the beginning, but that was all part of the story. Rocket, I don't feel like, if Rocket did die here, it was a very hollow death, in my opinion. I feel like she's going to come back and have a part to play. As I said, Grayson is probably going to have a part to play as well, but he's not. I don't feel like he's done. Like, I mean, he may come back, he may have memory loss. He may come back and fight the whole time and, you know, be off a little bit, and then at the end of the fight they realize, oh, you don't remember who you are or anything. And he's like, I just knew I had to help you guys. You know, so whatever. I mean, okay, so that's kind of where I'm predicting this is going to go with Grayson, with Rocket, and everything like that. Okay, so we go back outside the Fortress of Solitude. The Emerald Empress, aka Ursa Zod, shoots down Bioship, which I don't know if that means Bioship is dead. I mean, it opened the front wide open. So I don't know if Bioship is dead. But, you know, the entire Justice League was on there. Superman was on there. So, yeah. Yeah. So, and I think Superman... Oh, yeah, I think he put the kryptonite that Grayson had in the Phantom Zone. He put the kryptonite, like, in his chest, I think. So he started, of course, to turn kryptonite green because, you know, he can't take it. So it's in him, but it's also protecting Superboy from being affected by it because he put the box like on his chest and basically stabbed it in his chest. So, you know, Superman's incapacitated, the rest of the team. So basically Zod at this point wants to make a public proclamation that Zod is here to rule this blue marble called Earth. So he goes to Metropolis Square, which I'm guessing is like Times Square, but in Metropolis. They get all the cameras focused on them, and the end of the episode is Superboy holding, well, I mean, he's basically pronouncing all these things and basically saying, you know, and everyone's like, oh, is that Superboy? I thought he died, blah, 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 you know, and Superboy's in his white Cadmus outfit again, which is weird. I don't know where he would have gotten that from, but maybe he had it at the fortress? Sure, okay, we're going with that. And so Zod basically tells Superboy to kill Superman, you know, right there and, you know, in the public, and we basically leave it off where, you know, Superboy has to make the decision. And Superboy's messed up. He's got like scars all over here. I don't know if he's gonna fully heal or if he's gonna be scarred like that for life. I don't know. I really don't. But I don't know. I still think they tease the death of Rocket. They tease the death of Grayson. I feel like they're still going to kill Superboy. I really feel like he's actually, after this entire season of him fighting to get back, something's going to happen and he's going to die. And I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel this is going. Unless this is the last season, they're just killing everybody, you know, but they haven't announced it's the last season. And I hope to God it's not, because although Phantoms has been a mixed bag somewhat, I wouldn't say this is the weakest season, honestly. I mean, it is definitely a change because, you know, the format's different and, you know, obviously the light's barely anything in this season. I mean, the light's in it because, like, you have Vandal Savage involved in it and everything, and Clarion the Witch Boy is involved in it, but, like, the light itself is not really predominant this season. And I mean, okay, you're trying to do something different, and you're trying to do the whole thing with Zod and the Phantom Zone and everything like that. Okay. I'm on board. I don't know if I'd call it the weakest season, because season 3 sometimes was a mixed bag, also. You know, but I don't know. I'm very torn. I'll have to, when I do my season recap, I'll have to go back and think about it a lot harder and really make some calls. I might even watch the whole season again and make like as a whole and just make my call. But yeah, So that's basically the episode. I know I probably left out some little details. I apologize. It's just been nuts. But I appreciate you if you're watching this video for staying here, and especially staying till the end, because it helps out a lot with to support the channel. If you are, again, if you haven't already, please consider giving this video a like, leaving a comment on your favorite part of this episode, favorite part of the season, least favorite part of the season or this episode, least favorite part of this review. Go for it. I'm all game. But with that all being said, everybody, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.